Hi, it's Neil from Vanarama, and one of the biggest concerns people have when considering leasing a van or a pickup is the worry of excess mileage charges and also damage and repair charges at the end of the lease contract. Now, it's fair to say that if you take contract hire, the vehicle is handed back at the end of the contract and it is subject to mileage and subject to fair wear and tear condition. However, there is a different type of leasing called Finance Lease, which negates those worries of excess mileage charges and fair wear and tear damage charges at the end. Now, if you're like a friend of mine who can manage to hit probably a couple of gate posts twice a year, scrape the side of his vehicle, or it may well be that you've got staff driving your vehicles that perhaps don't take as good a care of the vehicle as you would, or it may just be that you're driving an awful lot of mileage in city centre traffic, perhaps parking up in city centre car parks where there's a high risk of damage from other people at no fault of your own. Now, if you take contract hire and there is damage to the vehicle such as dents to panels, larger scratches, or things that internally like rips to seats, then those can result in damage charges at the end of the contract. Now, if that's a concern of yours, it may be well worth considering Finance Lease. Now, Finance Lease works exactly the same as contract hire throughout the lease. The only change comes when you get to the end of the lease. As opposed to handing the vehicle back, subject to mileage and condition with contract hire, with Finance Lease, instead, you sell the vehicle on at the end, and it has to be sold on to a third party, and you use the funds that you sell the vehicle for to clear the final rental, or sometimes referred to as balloon payment. Now, the balloon payments are fairly conservatively calculated, and they're calculated on what we expect your vehicle to be worth at the end of the lease. So it varies whether you take a 2-year, 3-year, 4-year, 5-year lease, and it also varies depending on the mileage of the vehicle. So obviously a vehicle that will be 5 years old with high mileage on will have a lower balloon payment than, say, a vehicle with a 2-year lease with a low mileage on. And that when you get to the end of the contract, you sell the vehicle, use the funds to clear the final balloon payment. Any equity, anything you sell it for above that, is yours to keep. Now, just one word of warning: obviously, if you have taken a 3-year finance lease agreement with 10,000 miles on per year, that is what the balloon payment will be calculated on. So if you end up doing treble the mileage over the year, over the 3 years, and the vehicle's got 90,000 miles on at the end as opposed to the 30,000 that you originally thought, and let's say it's got lots of damage, there's dents in every panel, scratches everywhere, then that is obviously going to affect the resale value of the vehicle, and it may not sell for as much as you need to clear the balloon payment, and obviously in that instance you would make up the difference. If you'd done the expected mileage of around about 30,000, vehicles in reasonable condition, you would hope to sell the vehicle for more than the balloon payment and keep the difference. Now, if you want to discuss the full detail of the difference between contract hire and finance lease leasing arrangements, do give me a ring. It's Neil at Vanarama, 01277 218 122. I'll be more than happy to run through and see which one is most suitable for your type of business. Thanks very much.